Here's a nice story for you. A little story called, Who Knew I Was Not the Father? Do I even need to read it to you? You know where this is going. This happens all the fucking time, but they don't talk about it. You know, it's not considered a major fucking problem. It's because guys are not organized, and we have to start bitch, moaning, and complaining the way women do. All right? Just mentally try and imagine what it's like to have a period, and that's the mindset you need to get in to make change in this country. That's what I think. That's what I think is needed. All right? Okay, here we are. Boys and girls, gather around. Who knew I was not the father? Take one. It was July in 2007 when Mike L. asked the Pennsylvania courts to declare that he was no longer the father of his daughter. For 4 years, Mike had known that the girl he had rocked to sleep and danced with across the living room floor was not, as they say, his. The revelation from a DNA test was devastating and prompted him to leave his wife. But he had not renounced their child because he's a good shit, because he realized that the kid, you know, it's not the kid's fault that her mom is a whore. You know? This guy's a stand-up guy. But he had not renounced their child. He continued to feel that in all the ways that mattered, she was still his daughter, and he faithfully paid her child support. I mean, this guy is a saint. If there's a God, this guy is going straight into heaven. Okay? He could have been bitter. He could have walked away. He didn't. He stood in. Right? So it was only when he learned that his ex-wife was about to marry the man who she said actually was the girl's biological father that Mike flipped. Supporting another man's child suddenly became unbearable. Can you believe this woman? Why don't they show that? Why don't they're showing all these stories of guys beating women. What about a woman? Why don't they show when women do shit like this? You know, not only did she cheat on her husband, she fucked the dude raw. Not only did she fuck the dude raw, she let him bust it in him. Not only did she have a fucking kid with him, she didn't say shit to her husband. So then this fucking guy, he has to find out. He's sitting there, you know, looking how he looks, and his kid doesn't look anything like him. And she doesn't say shit, so one day he goes to Walgreens, gets a little DNA test, does a little swab of her and then him. Sends it off to, you got to be shitting me, labs in fucking Colorado. Comes back, finds out it's not his kid. He's absolutely fucking devastated. His goddamn marriage is over, and he's still a stand-up guy. So now this fucking whore goes back with the guy that actually knocked her up. Now they're living together. Okay? Wouldn't you think, despite the fact that she's a whore, that maybe she wouldn't be a cunt too? You know? It's unbelievable. Why not at that point just have the fucking real dad pay? And if for some reason the courts are making this guy go through the motions of writing the check, just take the check, cash it, and give it back to the guy. Why can't you do that? You know why? Because they can never have enough. Do you know how guys can never have enough pussy? Women can never have enough stuff. You ever notice that? Even if they have a one-night stand, they still got to get a T-shirt, you know? They always got to get something. I don't know if I've said that before in this podcast, but it's fucking true. They always got to have stuff, you know? And they got this free fucking money coming. And this bitch has got she's pimping these guys. She's got two guys working for her. Goddamn genius. Also a cunt, but she's a genius of a cunt, okay? I mean, how dumb is that guy who actually knocked her up? How dumb is he to marry her? Who the fuck marries somebody who makes somebody their wife who was already somebody else's wife and fucked around with you? You saw what she did. You think she's not going to get tired of you? You think she's not going to go somewhere else, get some more dick and a little more, you know, foreign spackle between the fucking gams? Unbelievable. So there you go. That's not misogynistic that I'm only reading these stories. What I'm doing is I'm trying to balance out the bullshit that you're seeing on TV. The bullshit vibe that only guys cheat, guys are dogs, guys do all the fucking bullshit. It's okay? We are equal. Okay? We are equal. We are capable of doing wonderful things like this guy who did the right thing by this little girl, and we're also capable of doing horrific things. All right? Slapping the shit out of fucking women, sticking their heads in the glove box, trying to see if you can get it all the way closed. You know, we also do shit like that. And ladies, right, they can be absolute angels. And they can be a steaming pile of cunt like this woman. So there you go. That's my little fair and balanced reporting. What the fuck to do? Sir Burr, love the show and listen weekly. Thanks for making my Mondays entertaining. Well, you're welcome. All right. I am 39 and separated with a child. And I started seeing a woman who was 43, divorced with her own child. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Here's the story. About 2 months into the relationship, we were getting serious and we started discussing a future together. However, our relationship started to erode about as quickly as it started, and we ended up breaking up after dating a total of 6 months. One of the reasons we ended things was that we didn't agree on wanting more kids. She wanted more, but I didn't. We ended on such a bad note that we agreed to not talk anymore. Okay, at this point I'm like, good. That was a very mature relationship. Early on, you said what you both wanted. You realized that you didn't. You wanted two different things, and you walked. Got a little ugly there for a second, but who gives a fuck? Anyways, he goes, as luck would have it, about 2 to 3 weeks after we broke up, she called me to tell me she is pregnant. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. She wanted more and I didn't. She pulled the goalie? Oh, dude, you didn't want more kids? You didn't use a condom? Oh, my God. He goes, I did not know how it was possible. Okay, because we took precautions, but I guess I slipped one past the goalie. I was devastated and worried because not only do I not want more kids, my current financial situation would limit me greatly in my ability to take care of my child and another child. My question to you is, what the fuck do I do? I would get a paternity test. Definitely get a paternity test to make sure it's yours. If you don't want to, I mean, that's a prayer. I'm not saying anything bad about this woman, but just, you got to throw the Hail Mary here and hope maybe you get lucky. He goes, my question to you is, what the fuck do I do? She doesn't want to have an abortion and told me that we should get back together and have the baby. Is she lying? She said if not, she would try to legally prevent me from being part of the child's life. As I was writing this, she was about 6 weeks pregnant, so a lot of time to stress about it. Yeah, dude, fuck all of that. She's going to, wait a minute. Let me just read the last paragraph of this. He goes, I'm not stupid enough to go to a comedian for advice. However, I do think you have an interesting perspective on life, and I'd love to hear your point of view. This situation has since been resolved. See below to see how it turned out, but answer the question before you see the result. Thanks and go fuck yourself. Well, I don't see the result here. Below, I'd love to know what happened. Jesus, now you're leaving me hanging and all my listeners. All right, here's my thing. If any woman said, you got me pregnant and I didn't want to be with her, and she said, if you don't live with me and we have a relationship, you'll never see the kid, I would just be like, that's no way to go into a relationship. Okay? You want to find love. Okay? And the way to find true love is not to hold somebody hostage. Okay? We made a mistake. Now we're going to be adults and we are going to raise this child in an unconventional way because we do not love each other. So it's not going to be fair to the kid if we're both together. It also will not be fair to the kid if you prevent the kid from seeing his mother or his father. Okay? So we need to be adults and put this kid first and set aside our differences and be as mature about this as we possibly can. The next 18 years are critical in this kid's life, and we need to suck it up. All right? So let's get on the same damn page here. All right? Somewhere along the lines, I would say that. But I would definitely get a fucking paternity test because you never know what somebody's doing. And, you kind of seem like dumbfounded that you actually got her pregnant. Who knows what happens? She seems like she wants more kids. She could be this desperate person that was, I don't know what. But stranger things have happened, so I would definitely get a paternity test. And if she gets mad, fuck her. Who gives a shit? If she gets mad and be like, listen, you know, you shouldn't say this, but in your head you got to be thinking, this is somebody who's fucking crazy enough to basically threaten me into her life. If you're crazy enough to do that, you're crazy enough to say a kid that isn't mine is mine. Okay? She's not acting stable right now, so I don't know.